Hi everyone, it's your girl Alicia from Turning Tides Tarot. I hope you all are having a lovely day, evening, whenever it is that you tune into this message. Now, I usually shuffle on camera, okay, but I was cleaning up my space, kind of messing around. I started shuffling these cards over here in my deck, the Honest Oracle, and two different stacks fell out while I was shuffling. The first three are saying, I'm in love with someone else. The grass was so green, I didn't know what I was doing. And then a second set fell out, and it's, I just had to learn the hard way. I feel your energy all the time, and it was always you. Now, I didn't really know exactly what to make of this right away. So I sat with it for a couple minutes and I decided, okay, I'm going to turn on the camera and read this for our tribe because there is someone here who is definitely in the energy of regret when it comes to you because they feel like they chose the wrong person. And I feel like right now they're sitting in this misery energy, okay, beating themselves up over it. Now, I know this reading isn't going to be for everyone, and it's been a couple days since we've checked in, so I will come back with another reading for you, our tribe, but this wanted to come out first. So here we go. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me as per usual. Thank you for all your love. I love you guys so much. Thank you for your likes and your shares and your comments. And I just love connecting with each and every one of you on the almost daily here. All right, so I have some questions. You know your girl's got some questions. My first question is why did they, if they're in this energy, I mean, the first logical question, if they're in the energy of regret, okay, why did they choose another person over you in the first place, right? They're saying they were in love with someone else. The grass was so green. They didn't know what they were doing. Okay. They were obviously talking to more than one person when they were talking to you. All right. Or, you know, I mean, I don't know exactly the details, but let's find out. Let's find out. Why did this person choose someone over you? Why did they choose this other person over you? Let's just get right out with it. Why did they do that? The Knight of Pentacles. Maybe, were you taking things really slow with this person? Maybe you have like, this is very interesting. Either you were taking things very slow with them and they were getting very impatient, or they felt like you wanted more of a long-term commitment than they were willing to give at the time when the two of you were connecting. I also feel like there was someone else before you. Now, you know, I don't want to, I'm not here to trigger you. I'm just asking the questions, loves. Okay, so please, you know, if you need to vent in the comments, you can do it. I can handle it, but please don't shoot the messenger, okay? We have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of this deck. And with the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, this kind of gives me someone that they had already kind of had their eye on before they met you. Somebody that they already kind of had their heart set on before they met you. I feel like this person came back around. This could have been someone from their deep past or someone they knew when they were young or someone, again, Six of Cups gives like nostalgia energy. So they could have seen this person. It could have been an ex. It could have been somebody that they already dealt with or already had feelings for, okay? And okay, they're saying, I'm in love with someone else. Maybe they had their opportunity to explore a connection with this other person while they were talking to you or starting to get to know you. And that's the reason. Okay, that's the reason for this particular reading. Okay, if that doesn't resonate with you, then this is probably not the message that you need to hear right now. Okay, I want to know what they expected from this connection. Okay, what did they expect from this connection that they chose? Because obviously it's not giving I mean, they're in an energy now where they're feeling miserable. So let's just see what they expected in the first place. What did they expect from the connection that they chose? What did they expect that was going to happen? What did they expect from this connection in the first place? The Hanged Man. To get some answers. Yeah, this is somebody definitely that they had their eye on before. This is someone they dealt with before. This is definitely giving the X energy. They expected to be the one. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. Let me just see. Wow. Here it is. 100% the Lovers. Okay, so what happened? They chose this other person because A, they already had their eye on this person before. They already dealt with this person, could have been an ex. I feel like this is going to be actually pretty, I want to say interesting, but they were not the one. Okay, let's call this person they chose, let's call them the karmic. Okay, just for ease, they chose the karmic because they had their eye on the karmic. They dealt with the karmic. I feel like the karmic did not choose them in the past. Because when this happened, and this happens so much, okay, with ex-partners or karmic situations, y'all, we see this theme a lot in love and things like that, right? A little bit of drama. When someone moves on and starts to see someone new, what happens? Almost all the time, guaranteed, you get all kinds of messages from your exes like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? People don't like to see the people that they love or once loved or who love them move on with someone else. So what happened is they started seeing you or started talking to you, started connecting with you, and one of their exes who did not choose them in the past now basically showed up at their door and said, hey, let's do the thing that you wanted to do, 6 months ago, a year ago, 6 years ago, I don't know, right? Now this is your chance, right? So the person that you were dealing with basically snatched it up because they thought, oh, this is something that I've already wanted. I'm not going to miss my chance to be with this person, right? Again, the grass was so green. They thought that they were in love with this person at some point in their life, like before knowing you. They're saying that they didn't know what they were doing. Obviously, something has gone wrong here. And stick with me. I have so many questions. I've got some stuff written down that I need to ask about this. Okay. But yeah, this is like, they were not chosen. Okay. They were the ones who weren't chosen. And so this is that karmic ex coming back into their life saying, okay, now is our turn. Let's do it. And they basically bailed on you, which sucks for you. But again, I do feel like obviously they are realizing the error of their ways, and I need the tea. So just give me a second. Let me just tune into my questions. Okay, the next question I have is, what is the current reality with this karmic? What is the reality, right? What is the reality here? What is actually happening? We have what they expected, but what's actually happening right now with this karmic person that they've chosen over you? 7 of Swords. You've got to be kidding me. 7 of Swords. They are finding out this person's true colors. Now, again, remember that this person didn't give them the shot when they shot their shot. If you're following, if you're picking up what I'm putting down here in the past, right? So now they're finding out that this person's true colors. I don't believe that they actually fully knew this person. I feel like they may have been slightly infatuated with this other person in the past, right? They had their eye on them, right? So their reality right now is 7 of Swords. They're finding out that this karmic person has either lied to them, cheated on them, not telling them the full truth, always keeping things back, always keeping things hidden. At the bottom of the deck, third party. 3 of Cups. That's cheating right here. This combo is cheating. This combo is cheating. Whoa, the tea. Okay, we have also here, I'm running out of room already. We have the 2 of Swords underneath that, and then we also have the 8 of Swords. All these swords. Look, I feel like for a while they were blinded by their expectation for who they thought this person really was. They are finding out the hard way. I just had to learn the hard way that the person they chose over you is nothing but a liar, a cheater, maybe even like a narcissist, to be totally honest with you, because this person keeps them. I feel like there's a lot of gaslighting that has happened here, where your person is finding out the truth and they're being told that they're crazy. The gaslighting things going on, I'm picking up here. So your person is actually, I want to call them your person, but this person is actually quite miserable. And I feel like they did find out that the karmic here was stepping out on the relationship and keeping their own options open. They definitely chose someone who wasn't very serious. And why I said narcissist is because what happens if you've dealt with a narcissist before, you know that this happens too. When you start to move on, the narcissist comes in, they want what they can't have, right? So they they will love bomb you and they will do everything they can to get you. And once they have you, they just discard you again, right? They just don't care anymore. It's all about the conquest with the narcissist and feeling like the best, and they like to keep other people down. So I feel like this karmic ex or this karmic person that they were dealing with simply did that to them. Okay. They basically got them to get away from you and then went out and kept doing the things that they normally do, talking to other people, whatever, right? So this is giving a little bit of drama, not gonna lie, okay? But it is making this person quite miserable because they feel like they're taking crazy pills. Obviously, there's another layer to this. Let's talk about their regret for a minute, because they feel your energy all the time and they're saying it was always you. They should have chosen you, kind of a vibe. So do they regret their decision? I feel like that's a yes. Okay, I feel like it's a yes, but let's just see what comes out with the tarot. Do they regret their decision? This is a yes card, 100%. And they do feel like things would have gone very differently had they had continued to invest in a relationship with you. I want to know how they feel when they think about you now, because they obviously do think about you. They're saying they feel your energy all the time. Judgment. Oh. Because my next question is, are they planning to leave the third party? And to have judgment pop up right away, what do they think? First of all, with judgment on how do they feel when they think of you now? They feel like this is their, I want to say karma. Again, they feel like this is, kind of what they get, right? This is the judgment has been placed upon them. You did not deserve to be treated in the way in which they treated you, or discarded in the way that they, just kind of ignored what the two of you were starting to build and chose someone else. They thought they were in love with this other person. They thought their dream was coming true. Okay, you know what? That person turned out to be a damn nightmare. That person turned out to be a nightmare. And so they feel like they are under spiritual judgment, right? Spiritual judgment. And that this is their karma for what they did to you, because one, you did not deserve this at all. And two, they continuously feel your energy. They still feel the connection with you. And they're starting to wonder, like, what have I done here? What have I done? So definitely in an energy of regret. Definitely. I want to know if they're planning to leave the third party. That's the next question I have written down here. So with judgment, that's like, once I make my decision, once I do this, there's no going back. And some of them kind of feel like, is it even possible for me to even go back, because I already made a decision with you, right? Like, that feels pretty final. They did what they did. How do they come back from that, right? How do they come back from that? They're saying it was always you. They're starting to realize that they made the wrong choice. Okay, and they're very miserable over the choice that they've made. Okay, so are they planning to leave this karmic, this third party? And I have so many more questions, but I want to know this. Are they planning to leave this third party? Are they planning to leave this third party? Okay, come on now. Are they planning to leave the third party? What's this? Ace of Pentacles. Yes, they are. This is, I want something new. I want something different. I want the real thing. I want the real deal. I want a new beginning. Ace of Pentacles. They are planning. They are definitely, with the Judgment and Ace of Pentacles, this is like, yes, I absolutely do want, I am going to be leaving this third party. Absolutely. They're leaving this person. Even though, like, are they still with them right now? Are they still with this person right now, the third party? Ace of Swords in reverse, yes. That's a yes for me, because Ace of Swords upright is, getting the clarity that you need and making any kind of cuts, taking some decisive action. So I feel like they're just on the verge. This doesn't mean, because it came up in the reverse, it doesn't mean that they're not going to do it. They are doing it. They're in the middle of making that decision right now. This is probably why it showed up so, like, strongly, and I was really pulled to deliver this message, like, right now, because right now, this is what they are doing. They've come to a decision that, yes, they want something new. They want something true. Okay. And they feel like it's you. It was always you. Okay. They're wondering if they can make some kind of comeback, if they can make up for it, if they can like even open up lines of communication with you. You may have blocked this person with the Ace of Swords coming up in reverse. You may have blocked them. So they may be even trying to figure out a way around it. Not just are they going to leave the karmic or relationship? Yes, they are. Do they want to come back to you in a sense? Yes, they do, because they're consistently thinking about you, feeling your energy, saying, I had to learn the hard way. I went out, I made a mistake, and now I totally am miserable because I completely messed up, right? I completely messed up. I chose the wrong person. I chose the wrong person, and I see that very clearly now. So I'm making this cut. I'm leaving this third party person, and I'm coming to talk to you. Okay. I'm coming to talk to you. So what would happen if you were to give this person another chance? I'm just going to ask that right now. Okay. Because I do have another list of questions, but it dives in a lot deeper. So I'm going to save those for the extended, where we can really spill some tea and find out a lot more. But let's just see here first, whether or not it's worth extending. Okay. Because if it turns out that they're just going to do you dirty, then I'm not going to extend it, because we don't need to know more. Okay. Because then it would just be like, okay, continue to move on, you know? All right. So what would happen if you gave them another chance, or even let them talk to you, or unblock them, or something like that? Now, I know not all of you are going to be interested in doing that, but hey, some are, and that's fine. We're here to explore the energy, friends. Okay. Not pass judgment. We listen and we don't judge. I love that trend so hard. Let me know in the comments if you've seen videos going around. I know it's been going around on TikTok a lot. We listen and we don't judge. And then people, close friends, family members, kids, parents, you just tell them, like, you know, it's like a confession, and then you listen and you don't judge, right? So anyways, I don't know why I was picking that up. We listen and we don't judge. Okay. Anyway, Page of Pentacles. Okay. Page of Pentacles is an offer. It's a small offer to open the lines of communication, to have a conversation about serious matters. Okay. About serious matters. So what would happen if you give them another chance? You would have a serious talk. Okay. A serious talk. Where am I going to put this? Okay. Right here. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups. You have other options right now. You definitely have other options, and you would have to carefully consider your options, I would have to say, obviously, but that's why we're here. That's why we're here. What would happen here? What do we have? The Hierophant. This would be a very serious talk about commitment and relationships. I feel like you have more than one option going on right now. Okay, if you gave them another chance, I feel like they would definitely, I know why I picked up on the we listen and we don't judge. Because the Hierophant can literally speak to confession time. Confession time. We listen and we don't judge. They may say to you, like, look, I don't expect you to, like, let me back in the door. I don't expect you to anything, right? Maybe they've learned their lessons on expectations, because they expected a lot more than what they got from this karmic person in relationship. Maybe they've learned a lesson in that. So I don't feel like they're coming to you with any expectation, but maybe just, hey, can we have this conversation where I let you know what has happened, what's gone down, what the tea is, what's the story, what's happened, and you know, can we have a conversation like that? Like, can I come and tell you my version and what happened? We listen and we don't judge, right? So maybe you guys have a basis of friendship, or at least the bonds of friendship. There still is some kind of bond. There's a familiar bond between the two of you, where you might be open to having a conversation like this. Okay. But this is what they're coming forward with. So they're not really putting a huge expectation on you, but they are taking you and this conversation quite seriously. And there will be a confession involved, where they do ask for you to listen and maybe not judge to your best of ability, if you can do that, right? Not everybody can, and that's okay, right? Not everyone can, and that's totally fine. So I do feel like there's a lot more to explore. We do have Temperance at the bottom of the deck as well. And this talks about, in a love reading, the blending of the energies, coming together, finding common ground, doing things in moderation. Yes, Temperance represents all of those things, turning a painful situation into something powerful. But in a love reading specifically, it speaks to reconciliation. So in a very fair and balanced way, again, turning something painful into something beautiful, into something powerful, and into something like creative, like art, something beautiful, right? So there is potential here for two people to come together with open hearts and understanding and a serious conversation about what has taken place here within this connection. If you are on that page, right? If you're on that page. If you're not on that page and you just don't care anymore, that's totally cool. Just know that this is something that's coming into your world. If you want more tea on this, I will drop a link, okay? I will drop a link and pin it to the top of the comment, and it's going to be longer than this reading, okay? It's going to be definitely longer because I have so many more questions. I really want to know about their reality check. So what they're really truly going through right now, what's the truth of the relationship. So I'm going to get more into the karmic situation and a little bit of a tea there. I really want to know more on how their thoughts about you, what they're thinking, what's in their head and what's in their heart when it comes to you, and the specific regrets that they have. And then I'm going to find out, you know, how, like, there's a little bit of a bonus tea situation, okay? Because I want to explore a little bit more of the karmic dynamic. So, like, you know, how the third party feels about them and a little bit of that perspective. If you're interested, I also have some questions here I'm going to ask about future possibilities, you know, between the two of you and what that could look like moving forward. And then last but not least, we'll get Spirit's guidance on the whole thing, okay? Spirit's guidance on the whole thing, and whether or not this is good for you, you know, what your higher self wants you to do and all that kind of stuff too. So it is going to be a lot, you know, more in-depth than the YouTube version of the reading, not version, but part one. Okay, part one. Anyways, I'm sending you lots of love. I'm not going to leave you hanging though. I am going to end the read here with a little bit of little bit of an oracle message. I love oracle. And like I said, I will return with it. My next reading. I will try to focus on what you need to know for yourself and your own maybe like what Spirit wants you to know for your own personal journey. Okay, so if you're interested, we have new beginning flipped right over, flipped right out. Okay, there's a potential here for a new beginning. So a new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Then we also have here, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Was that it? Oh, I thought 3 came out. I like 3 though, so let's look at the bottom of the deck. This one says, my beloved. Okay, though we may be physically apart, spiritually, we are always united. For love transcends time. Nothing is missing. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that, friends. Thanks for tuning in with me. I hope you have a lovely day. Again, if you do want to join for the extended, I do appreciate the energy exchange. It means the world, and it helps more of these free YouTube readings get pumped out to the collective. Okay, thank you for supporting the work that I do. You guys are freaking incredible. Yeah, I'll talk to you in the extended or see you in the next reading. Take care.